जंग लगी हुई है, उसका पिन टूटा हुआ है। और सबसे बड़ी बात ये है कि ये कोई बैग में नहीं मिला है, यहाँ पर ये बाजू में एक गार्डन है, उस गार्डन में ये मिला है। सामने आप देख सकते हैं कि ये पुरानी बिल्डिंग है, ऐतिहासिक बिल्डिंग है, और इस बिल्डिंग में दो आपको सीमेंट के कट्टे नजर आ रहे होंगे, सीमेंट की बोरियां नजर आ रही होंगी। उन दो कट्टों के बीच में जो है वो हैंड ग्रेनेड को यहाँ पर रखा हुआ है।
ये भी था ना अभी तक? हाँ, मैं बाहर नहीं था, अंदर था। लोग बोलने को जाने होने चाहिए।
While he was talking to me, there was a jeep outside his house. When you check, it was police vehicle. When I asked him why they have come, probably they have come to inquire or they might arrest me.
रवि राणा की तस्वीरें आप देख रहे हैं। रवि राणा इस गाड़ी में जा रहे हैं पुलिस की, जिसमें आप देख रहे हैं रवि राणा क्या कह रहे हैं? रवि राणा क्या कह रहे हैं?
झूठा ओपन दाखिल किया, उद्धव ठाकरे ने फंसा है हमको, झूठा ओपन दाखिल किया, झूठा ओपन दाखिल।
Big political face-off over Hanuman Chalisa fight. Arrests, attacks, letters.
प्रत्येक व्यक्तीला त्याच्या काही भावना असतात, पण त्या भावना त्यांनी अंतःकरणात ठेवाव्यात, आपल्या घरात ठेवाव्यात.
कि हिटलरशाही से संघर्ष होता है, संवाद नहीं होता, और अगर इस प्रकार की प्रवृत्ति यहाँ पर चलेगी तो हम भी उसका मुकाबला करेंगे.
Who's responsible for the chaos?
There is an update on the loudspeaker controversy. Now this is ACS home Avnish Awasthi of Uttar Pradesh, who has sought the report from all the police in charge of Uttar Pradesh regarding the removal of illegal loudspeaker at all the religious places, and the timeline which is given is April 30. One more thing which has been made clear by the ACS home Avnish Awasthi is that if anybody failed to submit the report till date given, then action will be taken. We are continuously seeing that how the loudspeaker controversy is raising day by day. We have seen how the clashes and the war of words was witnessed in the state of Maharashtra when the action reaches to the national capital. And now this is Uttar Pradesh government and ACS home Avnish Awasthi, who himself is keeping a very tight eye on the situation, and the date for the submission of the report is going to be on April 30. With video journalist Mahendra, I'm Anuj, and this is Republic.
Look at the entire political spectrum. Every single political party in the country has aligned with one agency or another, and we have chosen to align with IPAC. Now, Prashant Kishore and what he chooses to do as an individual with, in the political landscape, that's his personal decision. But in my humble opinion, at this point in time, I think the political institution which he is purportedly joining, which I am not aware of, is certainly a sinking ship, so I don't know.
Sir, we see that Prashant Kishore is having and stay with the Chief Minister. There are a lot of talks also, but
this is not the first time we have had discussions with Mr. Prashant Kishore. We have actually met him several times over the last 7 years. Myself, the Honorable Chief Minister, we have met him several times. So it is nothing new to us, firstly. And secondly, we have chosen now to finally work with an agency which he has no association. So what is the conflict of interest? See, these are all agencies that will complement your efforts, complement your agenda, complement your reach.
Right now we're witnessing a hole being drilled onto the roof. They're trying to drill a hole on the roof that had collapsed, and in fact through that hole they will try to pull the 5 construction workers who have been fear trapped under the heavy rubble, and that is the biggest challenge for the officials.
यहाँ पर एक हैंड ग्रेनेड मिला है, और वो हैंड ग्रेनेड में जंग लगी हुई है, उसका पिन टूटा हुआ है। और सबसे बड़ी बात ये है कि ये कोई बैग में नहीं मिला है, यहाँ पर ये बाजू में एक गार्डन है, उस गार्डन में ये मिला है। सामने आप देख सकते हैं कि ये पुरानी बिल्डिंग है, ऐतिहासिक बिल्डिंग है, और इस बिल्डिंग में दो आपको सीमेंट के कट्टे नजर आ रहे होंगे, सीमेंट।
whosoever is putting the cables illegally shall be prosecuted and action will be booked against him.
Tonight on The Debate with Arnab Goswami.
From the Mumbai studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate.
Arnab Goswami on The Debate at 10.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I'm opening lines on this section. I'm opening the phone lines on this section. I'm opening up to every form of interactivity because I want you to join me, because honest citizens have been subject to apathy for far too long now, almost forever now in this country. Honest citizens have put their heads down and carried on no matter the issue. But what has happened in Bengaluru might just and should be the tipping point. An electrocution on the footpath due to state apathy. We cannot let it slide this time. Let us demand answers as loudly as we can. Ensure accountability and say that enough is enough. Tonight it's citizens versus netas. Let's debate.
It was just about 7 p.m. The workday had ended for daily wage worker Kishore. He was walking back home on the pavement with his younger brother in Bengaluru's Sanjay Nagar after making his daily earnings of rupees 300. It was the usual path back, but Monday evening was different. He came in contact with a hanging Airtel optic fiber cable and was electrocuted.
You can see this particular cable, it was lying down here, and it was a long cable here, and it was lying down, and the boy was walking, he was walking on the same pavement. You have to use a footpath at a pedestrian when you're walking, and the cable was lying here, and unfortunately he came in contact with him, and that's when he was electrocuted, and he fell down on the roads. Immediately he was being shifted to the other side of the road, and they gave them enough of water, but so unfortunately he had succumbed after he was being taken to hospital.
His brother, who was accompanying him, watched Kishore be electrocuted right in front of his eyes.
ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಕಲರ್ ವೈರ್ ಮರದ ಹತ್ರ ವೈರ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಟಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾನೆ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಯಾವ ಥರದ್ದು ವೈರ್ ಅದು ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಕಲರ್ ವೈರ್ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಹಂಗೆ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬಿದ್ದೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ ವೈರ್ ಕಟ್ಟಾಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಎತ್ಕೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಸೈಡ್ಗೆ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ನೀರಾಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲಿಗೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು
ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಯಾರಪ್ಪ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಕೂಗಿದ್ರೆ
ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವರೇ ಗಾಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರು ಎತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋದ್ರು
ಹೋಗೋ ಹೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಣ ಹೋಗಿತ್ತಾ
ಇಲ್ಲಿ
ಯಾರು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಮು ಏನು ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ
ಕೇಬಲ್
ಕೇಬಲ್ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ
ಕೇಬಲ್ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರು ಬಿಡಪ್ಪ
ಅಂಕಿತ್.
Now, an inconsolable mother stands before the body of a dead son lying on a stretcher. A family is forced to come to terms with how an innocuous walk back home turned into a stairway to death. A distraught family is weeping as those meant to be working for the welfare of citizens are the cause of Kishore's death. These stray wires that transmit electricity at a high voltage are meant to be out of reach. The optical fibers are not meant to be stacked overhead. But in Sanjay Nagar in Bengaluru, they are lying on the road, ready to cause an electrocution as the next unsuspecting pedestrian comes in contact with it. The family is protesting. The BBMP commissioner, though, is brazening it out. Hear him yourself.
I'm telling you, the internet cables do not cause electrocution and death.
It doesn't mean that you should allow the cables everywhere in hook and corner, on trees, on poles.
You are mixing up the two issues. You are saying that there are too many cables.
There are FIR against two agencies, sir. One is Airtel optical fire cable, other one is Bescom. And the eyewitness was next to him. He claims that he touched that optic fire cable and he was electrocuted and died. And what do you have to say, sir?
You are not listening to me. Kindly listen. There are two issues. One is you are saying that there is too much of optical fiber cables which have been put. So that is one issue on which, yes, they have to be put only on the licensed places where the permissions have been given. Otherwise, the action has to be taken to remove.
But what rings loud tonight is the silence of the Netas. Netas across the country have chosen to go silent. The alliance of silence amongst the political class surfaces in every case of apathy. Whether it is the electrocution of a fruit vendor on 13th April, or it is in Kota where a patient dies due to a power failure and treatment in the dark. Or be it in Begusarai in Bihar, where a father had to carry his daughter's body on shoulder after failing to get hers. Or in Tirupati, where in a heart-wrenching situation, a man was forced to carry the dead body of his 10-year-old son on a two-wheeler to his village because even ambulances are too expensive. The politicians have for far too long attributed zero value to the life of the common man, and they don't like it when they are asked questions. But tonight, the citizens confront Netas. Let's debate.
So, nobody's responsible, Sohail, for this, it seems. Brinda Adige, Neelam Krishnamurthy, Shailesh Gandhi and Bijon Mishra, welcome. And on the other side, I have with me Sanju Verma of the BJP. I have Manish Bariyar of the JDU. I see Sanket Yanagi. His lawyer in the Supreme Court leans towards the Congress. Sanju Verma, FYI, the BBMP is under the BJP, right? Brinda, the BBMP is under the BJP. Okay.
Yes, it is.
And whether it's optical fibers or electrical cables, the fact of the matter is that the removal of the unauthorized optical fiber cables is to be done by the BBMP, is to be done by the local government. State government is yours, okay? And the Bruhat Bengaluru Mahanagara Palike is also under you. Okay, Sanju? Right? So there's no way that you can skirt the responsibility. And it is a huge matter, Brinda, as far as I'm concerned, because a citizen has died. And I would just like to see whether anyone owns up. Do you think they'll own up? And viewers, I'm going to open up the phone lines tonight. The lines will be on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to speak up. I want to see if anyone owns up. Brinda, do you think anyone's going to own up? Or will it just mean nothing because after all, Kishore, was a daily wager. He was an Aam Aadmi. So maybe the politicians, everyone thinks they need to just move on. You think they'll own up on my program tonight?
I wish they would own up, Arnab, because if they do not own up, they will lose the confidence of citizens. Because right now, to date, the citizens feel that our lives don't matter to the elected representatives, the state agencies or the bureaucracy. Even though we are the paymasters, paying our taxes, they do not want us to hold them accountable to jobs that they have come forward to take it.
Yeah, they in fact, they don't want to own up. It's, you think they'll own up, Shailesh Gandhi? Do you think they'll own up? Because this is a case of apathy here. By the way, viewers, just 1 minute, please, Sanju. The center overruled the decision to cut overhead OFCs, right? Optical fiber cables. Center overruled it. There are 25,000 kilometers of overhead cables dangling and overlapping in Bengaluru. 22-year-old died. Do you think anyone's going to own up? Even if I open the lines, if people respond tonight, do you think they'll own up? Sanju. Shailesh.
It is very sad, but I must concede that in the last 2-3 years, and perhaps before that also, I have seen these condolence debates on TV so often. Every time people lose their lives and it hurts everyone, we talk about it, we discuss it, blame the political class and then get back to normal. We are not punishing people. And in fact, media also forgets about it after the death has occurred and there is a bashing up of everyone around. Nothing changes. Can we look for change now? Yeah. Unless we make a change, bring a change, nothing will change. And one of our primary problems is our inability to punish the guilty. We are not able to punish the guilty. We bash about, talk about, and various political parties bash them up, say you are responsible, you are not sensitive. But where is the change? And unless the change occurs...
The change will only happen if you embarrass people. You see, politicians need to be embarrassed. Unless politicians are embarrassed, they don't act. Let me tell you,
I don't think embarrassment is going to change anything unless you punish people.
I think embarrassment is itself a punishment. I think it is. Do you think embarrassment is itself a punishment? What do you think, Bejonda?
Yes, it is.
No. It is? No?
Yeah. Arnab, they should be embarrassed in the public places. They should be made, to be shamed in public places. Then only they will improve. It is incorrigible, Arnab, the way they behave as if they are not accountable to anybody. You just now read out that how these wires are just left naked. They just don't bother what will happen to the lives of people. It is such a pathetic condition that when you go down the street and you see these kind of wires hanging, it is so dangerous. And only they wait for such incidents to happen. Only they wait for Republic to debate on it. And then they will give you assurances that we will take action, we will do this, we will do that. Nothing happens. Nothing happens, Arnab. We are fed up now. It is absolutely incorrigible. These governments should be taken to task. They are raising their hands to speak. I don't know how they will speak.
No, I'd like to see how they speak.
I don't understand what they will speak about.
No, because there are powerful lobbies. You see, Neelam Krishnamurthy. In this case, I'm told that the Cellular Operators Association of India is very, very angry. Has been very angry. There was a report in January about how they were very angry with the Bengaluru Mahanagara Palike for undertaking an optical fiber cutting drive in Bengaluru. These are powerful lobbies. Very powerful lobbies. Can you stand up to the lobbies?
Yeah.
Does it? No. Neelam, can they stand up to the lobbies? Because a young man died. Which one of the lobby members will come out and today
Arnab, it's very
even attend his funeral?
Well, Arnab, let me tell you that it's very difficult to stand up against this lobby. These are all powerful lobbies, and all the politicians play up to them. And for once, I actually agree with Mr. Shailesh Gandhi. What he said, the root problem is that there is no deterrence in our country. We have these cases, and they're just reported. We discuss it in the television studios, and after that, I'll be very honest, they are forgotten. A criminal trial never takes place, and if at all somebody is booked, they're booked under 304A, that is Rash and Negligent Act, which is a bailable offence. And if at all a person gets convicted after about 2 or 3 decades in our country, that's a criminal justice system, and that time the person is allowed to walk free, because all that is considered at the time is, no, Arnab, it's important that, please let me say that, at that time, because our criminal justice system is not victim-centric, it is accused-centric. Everybody will forget this boy who has died today. 20 or 30 years later, if the case is even decided, they will only see the age of this particular person, how old he is, the person who's accused, which are the family members, how many members he's leaving behind, and how old is he. Okay, now let him go and walk free. So we need a change in our system, Arnab. First of all, accountability and judicial accountability is also very important.
No, I think we'll have to make this a campaign. You see, what will have to happen is, can you stand up to the Cellular Operators Association of India? I'm asking Sanju here. Can
Why
you stand
not?
up? Can
Why
they
not?
stand up to it? Can they stand up to it? Can they stand up to it?
May
The
I please
powerful lobby?
answer?
Yeah, tell me. Can you stand up to them?
Yeah, thank you, Arnab. First,
If the
Arnab, let me please
politicians help
answer.
the
You
ordinary
asked me a
citizens.
question, don't repeat yourself.
No, don't speak to me like that. Don't speak to me like that.
Please,
Sanjay.
Arnab, don't make everything into your personal slanging
No, there's no
match.
personal
Let me
thing.
come
There's no
into the
personal thing.
debate,
There's no
because it's a
personal
very
thing.
serious issue.
No, because you're very
It's a very
touchy when you're
serious
spoken
issue
to that
and
way. I'm also
Yes, so
telling you
please
most
let me have my
politely
say.
not to speak to me like that.
Let me have my
No, I
say.
don't appreciate
Let
that
me
tone.
have
That's
my
all right.
say.
No.
Let me have
One
my
second.
say.
One second. Please, I'll tell you one thing, Sanjay.
Let me have my
I will speak to you with respect, but speak to me with respect. Do not try to be overly dismissive. Okay? And do not be patronizing in your tone with me.
Let me
Do
have
not
my
be
say.
patronizing in
Yes.
your tone with me.
I'm not being patronizing.
No, you will
Stop
not
being
be.
touchy.
No, I'm telling you. No.
This is not a debate about you and me.
No,
Please
it's
stop
not.
making
But
this
I
a
didn't
debate
like your
about you
tone,
and
so
me.
I'm telling you.
This is not a debate about you
It's
and
not.
me.
It's not. But
Let
I
me
don't
have
like the
my
tone.
say.
And I'll tell you one thing.
The
I don't
simple
allow.
point is
I don't
this,
allow
Arnab.
any politician
The
to talk to
simple
me like
point
that.
is this.
I don't allow any politician to talk to me like that. So that's what I'm
Yes,
saying to you.
So, yes, well and good, but this is not about you and me. Now,
No. So I
let me have my
have
say.
told you on
Fine.
record. Please keep that in mind in the
I just want to say
future.
one thing. You made Can I please speak? Stop heckling me. I'm not interested in having a slanging match with you. Let me make my point. I don't want to waste your viewers' time by engaging in a slanging match with you. The simple point
As long
is
as you
this,
got the
Arnab.
point.
Do I feel sorry? Do I feel sorry for the fact that we have lost a 22-year-old to negligence? Yes. And I do agree with one of the panelists who said that embarrassment is not enough. We need to have stringent punishment. I also agree with the earlier panelist that the criminal justice system needs to be more accountable. I also agree with one of the panelists who said that the judiciary needs to be accountable and politicians also need to be held accountable. I just differ on one aspect, and that is this. If the BBMP is culpable, heads should roll. Hang them, those who behaved in a manner that tantamounts to criminal negligence. But let there be a probe. I heard Gaurav Gupta, the BBMP commissioner, earlier in the day on your channel. I also heard V. Sunil Kumar, the energy minister of Karnataka, who said that, while we cannot get back the young 22-year-old, we have to ensure that such mishaps don't happen. So there will be an energy audit of all transformers. I just want to make one very important point. You said, will you stand up to the Cellular Association lobby, the COAI? Arnab, optical fiber cables in isolation are not dangerous because they do not carry current. They only transmit light. Yes, an optical fiber cable, if it has come in contact with a live wire which can transmit electricity, then it gets dangerous.
Can I see them?
And I presume, prima facie, that is what happened.
No.
The problem is not with the optical fiber cable, but it came in contact with a live wire.
Can I say something to you?
And that is how this
Now,
occurred.
Sanju, just 1 minute, please. 1 minute, please. Can I make a point here, right?
Look at
Monojit, before you come in, and it becomes a normal political fight between, because I will not allow it. I'm too experienced to allow the normal political fight, which might provide a camouflage for both of you. You and Sanju will fight. You think we'll get distracted? We are fools. We'll get distracted. BJP, TMC fighting, we'll get excited. No, we'll get bored. I'm telling you the fact. The fact of the matter, we need to be pointed. Here is the opportunity. No, Sohail. 1 minute. Here is an opportunity. Let's be focused. The police in Karnataka, a BJP ruled state, has registered an FIR against Bescom and Airtel OFC. Okay? Now, I haven't filed the FIR, first of all. Your government has, your police has. Good. Second point, thousands of these optical fiber cables are flying in the air. They used to be underground earlier. Who allowed them? Center allowed them. Yes. You allowed the service providers to draw overground optical fiber. So I'm asking you, today we are in a situation where Bengaluru, why Bengaluru? Guwahati, Mumbai, anywhere. We'll be going around, Sohail, looking in the sky. God forbid a cable falls on us which is in turn connected with an electric pole, and don't we think about it today? We take it for granted. Now what happens? Already in any case we should not be living on 100-year-old infrastructure in this country because we pay taxes. But what do we get? We get a crisscross of thousands of kilometers of wires over our head. We don't know, Sohail, whether tomorrow the wire will fall on us, our children, our loved ones, our parents, or who. And when it happens, we'll be told it's an accident. It's not an accident, it is a killing.
It is nothing but a murder. It's nothing but a cold-blooded, planned murder. Neelam Krishnamurthy is absolutely right. Let me tell you what the reality of India today is. And it has nothing to do with the political parties. They are equally culpable, equally shameless, equally responsible. Let me tell you what the reality of India is. You know, in Shakespeare, Cassius says in Julius Caesar, he says, "Dear Brutus, the fault is not in our stars, but in ourselves." This is who we have become. If Republic hadn't taken on this debate today, this would be forgotten. And this may well be forgotten. You remember when you were on another channel when 26/11 happened, and you and I talked about the fact that even then our political leaders didn't want to come together to Bombay to take cognizance of what happened. So here are the 3 or 4 things that have gone wrong with today's India. We have given development more credence, and we have allowed people to believe that life is inexpensive and cheap. Number 2, I'm tired of committees and probes. It is nonsensical for people to suggest I will form a probe. It's the biggest bloody hoodwink mechanism that has been known to man in this country. Neelam Krishnamurthy has been fighting for the victims of Upar for how many years now? Almost 30 plus. What has happened? You have a painful judicial system which is not willing to recognize the pain of an individual citizen. Make this happen in America, make this happen in Europe, and see what would have happened to the company's chairman of steel. Number 3, we forget very easily because we believe we have too many people. You know, you made a very important point. You said he's a daily wager. His family needs him more than perhaps our families would. His families survived on what he made. Today, we should hang our heads in shame that not one political leader, not one political party, not one organization, including these jokers at the COAI, not one person has condemned this. Tomorrow, if it happens to someone who's well known, they'll be up in arms. So you know what the reality of India today is? Keep developing, but remember that human life will always be more precious than a goddamn optical fiber cable or an internet connection.
And also
remember that ultimately we will be held accountable, if not in the court of justice in India, but in the court of an almighty or a superior being. But I'm tired of being told that, oh, there's an FIR, there is this, there is that. Who will they take action against? Do you think they'll have the courage to take action against the rich and the powerful who set up these goddamn cables? Do you think they'll have the courage to take action against the chief minister?
They don't.
These people are absolute, I hate to say this, these people are hoodwinkers and culpable. They should be in prison as well because, and you know, Sanju made the point, oh, there is a probe. But let me tell you, Sanju, you would know this better than I do. A probe is not what the family seeks. The family seeks 3 things. It seeks sahanbhuti, for someone to tell them that, look, we made a mistake, we are deeply sorry. These are the 3 things that we are doing, or 4 things. Number 2, the country needs demonstrable deterrent examples. Neelam mentioned the word deterrence. And 3rd, the judges now need to take suo motu cognizance of this and wrap people on the knuckles.
Why don't they? With the greatest respect to their lordships, I would say, you know, the cable, whatever what is this cellular Operators Association of India can afford expensive lawyers. The family can't. The family can't. So we say here, okay, Aam Aadmi's family, you dare to fight with the government of India, government of Karnataka, Cellular Operators Association of India. We're big people, we're big lawyers. What will the Aam Aadmi do? What will they do? No, what will they do? What? And these were, if I may remind, these were the kind of instances that used to get the BJP all worked up before 2014. I want to know why you don't get worked up now. Manish, you're an ally. Is this the India we want to live in?
Yeah.
No, where Nandu Bhai died due to a power failure in a Kota hospital a week back. How many citizens have been electrocuted? You want to know? How many citizens just walking on the road have been electrocuted? You want to know? 8-month-old died when the auto was stopped for a minister's procession. These used to be cases which used to get you and the party you ally with, the BJP, very worked up before 2014. What happened now? 8-month-old baby died when the auto rickshaw carrying her was stopped for the convoy of Andhra Pradesh's newly appointed Women and Child Development Minister. Why don't you people agitate? No, what? Explain this and explain the lack of a response to me, Manish. No, explain the lack of a response to me. How are you so placid? A man is forced to carry his 10-year-old dead son on a two-wheeler. Why have you become so inert to these things? Why don't you respond?
No. Let me, start with an apology. In fact, Suhail was talking about. At least personally, I can start with an apology, and on behalf of all the politicians also. I think there's nothing wrong in apologizing. But let me add to a lot of statistics. Yeah.
Statistics? What statistics?
A lot of statistics. There are 30 deaths. Let me start with statistics. 30 deaths, electrocution every day in India.
Yes, so?
Every day.
So?
Right. It is more than everyday suicide in the country.
Yeah, so?
The point I was trying to say is that, 1 or 2 doses of hyperbole from all of you.
No, hyperbole.
Including the
what is hyperbole?
And you,
what is hyperbole? Okay,
but
one minute. Just 1 minute. One minute. Okay,
please.
Here's the thing, viewers. I'll take this out. I'm going to open up the phone lines right now. Because Manish Bariyar, newly minted politician, says that I am indulging in 1 or 2 days of hyperbole. Mr. Bariyar, before you ever even dreamt of politics, I've been doing this. Okay? This is not hyperbole. In 2006, a 6-year-old child was rescued because I was among those who carried out a many-day campaign in the case of Prince. No, you said I'm doing hyperbole. I'll put it to the test. Let the people of this country decide whether I'm doing hyperbole. No, hyperbole. I'll do the hyperbole then. No, you define hyperbole. Define hyperbole. Define hyperbole. Define hyperbole. Was the country's response on Nirbhaya hyperbole? Was the expose of Suresh Kalmadi hyperbole?
What I was talking
No, what do you mean hyperbole? No, you explain yourself. No, if I want an apology for what you said, Mr. Politician.
Yeah,
Mr. Politician, I'm telling you, you apologize to me right now for using that phrase hyperbole. What hyperbole? No, I will not let you go now. You tell what's hyperbole? No, what's hyperbole? 1 or 2 days of hyperbole.
Let me explain.
How do you know?
You need to, I need to explain.
No, explain hyperbole.
There were 300 deaths.
Explain hyperbole.
Please listen to me.
I won't listen till you explain to me. You explain to me.
I am explaining to you.
Explain hyperbole.
I'm explaining to you.
Exaggerated expression.
300 deaths in Bengaluru.
Yeah.
I'm explaining.
Yeah.
You need to listen to me.
No. So?
Right. There were 300 deaths in Bengaluru.
Okay.
Because of electrocution.
Yes.
In Bengaluru for last 3 years.
Yes.
Where were you?
Where was
Where were all the people who were talking?
I'm running the Karnataka government. I'm running the Karnataka government. Fantastic. I'll ask you a question. No. 1 minute. Just 1 minute. 1 minute. You're from the JDU, right? Mr. Bariyar, are you from the JDU? Are you from the 1 minute? Are you from the same party?
Yep.
Are you from the same party whose chief minister got really angry with Republic when we indulged in the hyperbole, when hundreds of people died of encephalitis? Right? You remember? You think I forget? I've got an elephant's memory. 1 minute, Mr. Bariyar. Mr. Bariyar. No. You're going to get it from me. Mr. Bariyar, newly minted politician. Thank you. Thank you for coming on my program. Let me teach you the basic rule a person like you should learn before becoming a politician in India. You are here to serve. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? And you are here to serve us. I'm sorry, you are here to serve us. 1 minute, Mr. Hyperbole. I'll tell you one more thing. Mr. Bariyar, tell me, 125 people or more died. You have a health minister called Mangal Pandey. You know what he said? You know what he said at that time? He said, "Koi cricket premi hai, kitne wicket hue?" There was a press conference going on 2019. Hundreds of people were dying. He wanted to know the cricket score. Where were you? Where was your hyperbole then? Why didn't you quit your party? Why didn't you quit your party, Mr. Hyperbole? No, why didn't you? No, I'm sorry, but why didn't you? Why didn't you? Why didn't you? Why didn't you?
The point I was
the point you are making is, the point I am making to you, Mr. Hyperbole, is this, that do the lives of 125 people who died of encephalitis matter to you when your government did absolutely nothing and in fact tried to target the media, Mr. Hyperbole? Don't teach me what my job is. Don't ever teach me what my job is as a journalist, Mr. Bariyar. Be careful with your choice of words.
Issue every day, right? When
1 minute.
You are
1 minute.
You have no business lecturing
with due respect.
I'm opening up the lines right now, right here, right now. Let me hear it from the people.
My point was that we accept mediocrity every day.
Will you hear me?
We accept mediocrity every day. One day you cannot get up and wake up and say that
open the lines, open the WhatsApp lines today.
It is not fair.
If you as a politician, say that this happens every day,
what about authorities?
I want to have a WhatsApp inbox opened up right now on the screen right now. Let people see.
If you say that these things happen every day, is that a reason for them to continue to happen? Is that what you want? Number two, you were right.
Absolutely
300 electrocutions happened in Bengaluru. Should electrocutions continue because we should live in numbers?
Okay, let me put up a data.
What kind of logic? Don't mock
Let me put up a data.
Death.
Are you okay? Can I put up a data?
No, don't put me data. No, don't teach
data. There were 58,000 transformers in
I'm on the debate.
Let me please add.
A person has died, Barrier. A person has died.
Wait.
No, I'll tell you. He talks about data. He talks about data. I'll tell you one thing. Mr. Bariyar. First of all, I need you to stop when I tell you to stop. Because I have had it with your use of words today.
Yeah, please.
Okay? I want to tell you one thing, Mr. Bariyar. Don't talk down to people.
No, I think you got it wrong.
I have got it perfectly right and I'm giving it back to you. Because when someone uses this language, I give it as good as it gets. I'm opening the lines. It's time you. You know what? You politicians think, oh, we fight elections. We are in touch with the people. Who the hell are you? That kind of approach you have, right? I'll open up the lines right now. I'm saying I have more sense of the pulse of the people of this country than a politician like you. No, it is wrong of you. Don't repeat that again. Thank you. Now I'll tell you one thing. Where were you? You asked me, where were you? Where were you? We fought corruption in this country. We fought what was wrong. Where were you, I would say, to you? Please be careful. You talk to me about statistics. For me, a tragedy is not a statistic. I'll give an example. I want to go to Neelam Krishnamurthy. Let me tell you, Neelam, somewhere tell him that a tragedy is not a statistic. It's what Neelam Krishnamurthy's loss is not a statistic. She needs to tell you.
And the fight she has fought, I salute the fight Neelam Krishnamurthy has fought.
And that's exactly what I was going to say, Arnab, for the
Yeah, please.
Arnab, for the politicians, it's a mere statistics. If you ever ask them, they will come and have one standard line, and if there's a lot of political pressure, they'll come and say, दोषियों को छोड़ा नहीं जाएगा, सख्त से सख्त कानूनी सजा मिलेगी. And after that, you can ask them, देखिए अब matter sub judice है, अब हमसे मत पूछिए, matter court में है. They do nothing. They're only interested to get votes. They're absolutely insensitive people. They are absolutely thick-skinned, shameless. That's all. That's the right word.
And I tell you, he says to me,
they're not going to be shamed because they're thick-skinned.
No, he says to me that 300 people died.
So let them not talk about statistics. Let them not talk about statistics.
I'm asking tonight. I'm asking the people of Bengaluru who are watching the debate tonight. We're going to do a campaign on this. You join me, ladies and gentlemen. We have been challenged. We are told we are doing hyperbole over this. No, a 55-year-old man, Shivaraj, and his 90-year-old child, daughter, okay, they died in a transformer blast, transformer explosion, South Bengaluru. What happened then? You tell me. Did it move you? Do you even know when it happened? Do you know the names of the victims? Do you know their stories? What do you know? What do you know? You know nothing. All you know is how to appeal to people right before an election. Brinda, I tell you one thing, if there was an election tomorrow, they would have responded. They would have been fighting on the streets if there was an election tomorrow in Karnataka, but it's a year away, you see.
You're absolutely right. What the hyperbole that I want to tell him is official impunity. That is what is hyperbole. And that official impunity runs from the elected representative to the bureaucracy, to the last person down there. And name all of them in the FIR.
Yeah.
That is when
and somewhere,
this hyperbole will get sorted out.
No, somewhere also there's an implicit assumption and maybe some arrogance among politicians, Monojit, that what will the media do? They'll report it for a day, they will move on. This kind of arrogance has also crept in, right? We need to destroy that arrogance.
Arnab, I mean, this kind of anger is certainly welcome. And you have been doing it for a quite long period of time, and we really thank you for that. And I'm happy that I'm not really a conventional politician, to be honest. But look at the way I think these two politicians are brazening out. I'm happy that I'm not a conventional politician. I do at times wear my academics hat. I mean, someone has died, someone has been killed, and the politician, the conventional politician is saying that it's not because of anything else. We have to wait for the probe. I mean, for God's sake, that person was killed. At least let us acknowledge that this was really an unfortunate incident and let us all condemn it. But the fact remains that she doesn't have the guts to condemn this because she's running the administration. We have seen, I mean, despite all your criticism, Mamta Di, I'm coming to Bengal. I know that you are very energetic towards Bengal and Bengali people. I know you are very energetic towards us. That's why I'm coming to Bengal. When Rampurat happened, Arnab, when Rampurat happened, Mamta Di herself went and condemned that killings.
Your TMC corporator, your
put
TMC
your facts
MLA,
on right.
your TMC
Put your
leader's
facts
son
on the right
was
track,
involved
madam.
in the
You
gang
don't
rape
know.
of a minor.
You don't know. You are a conventional politician, highly tendencies, ruthless,
a mockery of
এটা সময় নেই এই জন্য এই জিনিস জন্য এটা সময় নেই মনোজিৎ এটা সময় নেই ভাই Monojit, this is not the time. This is not the time.
No, this is truly not the time, This is so predictable. They're so predictable. I want to make them because I was accused of hyperbole. I want to say today that yes, a 12-year-old child, by the way, Vikraman is on the debate. A 12-year-old child died of electrocution while going to retrieve a ball. The child was playing with a ball. It's a BBMP playground, came into contact with the live electric wire. The child died. Yeah. And Manish says this is 1 or 2 days of hyperbole. There'll be a lot of hyperbole now, Manish. Right? Are you ready to face more days of hyperbole?
If that happens,
yeah.
Right. In fact, my charge was like that only. I'll be very happy if that happens regularly.
Regularly? It needs your certificate?
But that's what you are paid to do. To do the job.
No, they want the media to do their job. They want no.
Because you get a salary at the end of every month. We don't shortchange any of you. Citizens pay our taxes and we want you to monitor and get the job done.
You know how this campaign will run? Stop paying municipal taxes in Bangalore for 1 month as a matter of protest and deposit it in an escrow account managed by the Supreme Court of India. The judges will then realize the government will be forced to put all citizens' money in an escrow account, all the taxes, and then see how the municipal corporation...
Vikraman.
I see a very sorry state of media here, totally blaming the politicians only. I'm saying, yes, I'm very sorry for the loss of the child, but not just the politicians who are responsible for it. The authorities, the officers, the government officials, they are responsible for it because they are not accountable to anything. Yeah, that company.
I totally agree.
Politicians keep changing. The politicians keep changing every 5 years, okay? But these authorities,
no, they are elected representatives.
Until they are
no, in this case, I would first blame the politicians.
Keeping them accountable.
I would first blame the politicians because the politicians have the politicians could have stopped the politicians could have stopped this. They were the ones who gave the permission for all these overhang cables. And there are strong corporate lobbies backing it. Be realistic. Don't be in a bubble.
The authorities, the government officials, the IAS officers, they corrupt the politicians. In fact,
really? Poor politicians. They are giving loopholes.
Sangeet
Yanagi is on the debate. I am opening up to lines.
To, do corruption.
Yeah.
Firstly, it is not a negligence at all. I would call it as a murder. I would call it as a murder. It is not just a responsibility of the state to maintain it. It is the responsibility of the state to protect each individual's life. When the state has failed in its duty, the state itself is liable. And the officer who is in charge of the responsibility of the state is not just officially responsible, but also personally responsible for the cause of death.
Why do they?
Then
Sanket, why don't all of you? Why don't all of you? You're a lawyer. Why don't you go file a petition in court? File a petition in court right away.
We are with you.
Why don't you file a petition in court?
We are all with you.
Why don't you file it in court?
Anybody can go to the court. Anybody can go to the High Court under Article 246 of the Constitution. They can ask the High Court to issue the writ. If there is a dereliction of duty on the part of the authorities, they can do it. Even the courts can take the suo motu cognizance of the case and do it. And what my question is,
I know more about Article 32 and Article 226 because that has been my field.
Just questioning the politicians.
One minute, let me put my...
Vikraman.
No, 1 minute, let me point it out. Article 226 and Article 32 are more known to me than anyone else in this debate, if I say it better. But the state's responsibility cannot be undermined just because it is saying that it is someone else's responsibility. Every life is important for the state. State cannot have the an inequality or unequal treatment to the life, whether it is poor or rich. And when we are all unanimous with you, Arnab,
No, Kumar from Bengaluru is calling. First caller. Kumar is calling in from Bengaluru. I'm besieged with calls right now. Kumar, are you here? Can you hear me, Kumar?
Yes.
Good evening. Yeah, go on, Kumar. I want to hear you.
Yeah, I'm from Bangalore, and I can tell you this. Mr. Suhail said your narrative was brilliant. I just would not change even a single word. Sanju Verma, I'm sorry. What you said doesn't pan out with me. I can tell you this, Arnab, that what I see today is, the failure of the executive, failure of the legislative, failure of the judicial. Now, we are all, as citizens, we cannot change any one of them. This debate is good, but we will not change any one of them. I can tell you for a fact, from Bellary Road, if you know Bangalore, which is the road that comes from the airport, there is a connectivity of about 10 apartment complexes, huge ones. I won't even name it. They are big names in apartment complexes, each one being supported by a huge politician. That connects up to another tech park around the lakes. I can tell you for a fact, and my blood is boiling, Arnab. I can even send you pictures tomorrow morning of cables sticking out from the road. And when they put the cables, there are huge pits where water is sitting in. And it is right next to a school, Arnab. Tomorrow, I would not be surprised if a child walks into one of those pits that have been dug up, because they haven't even covered up after it. Why? Because the apartment complex is being hooked up to the tech park. Who is going to care for us? Who is going to care for us, Arnab? I can send you pictures tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock when I go there for a walk.
I'll tell you one thing. Kumar, I'll tell you one thing. I take you up on your offer. You send me the pictures, send me a video as well. I'll carry it here. I'll make it a campaign, okay? I believe we can make it.
I will.
Because I believe in the classic rule of...
Even the judiciary, one of your ladies, sorry Arnab, one of your ladies said about go to the court. Nobody can go to the court, ma'am. It's the politician, because we elect them based on caste, community, whatever. They don't care.
Is this the biggest issue in the... Can I ask you a question, Kumar? Is this the biggest issue in the media there, local media there? Is this not the non-stop issue?
No, it is not.
It's not?
It is not. It is going to be forgotten.
I mean, you mean the Kannada news channels are not only reporting on it? It's not a campaign on the Kannada news channels? No?
It will be forgotten.
Not yet, at least.
It will be forgotten. This 22-year...
Citizens' lives don't matter.
Their lives don't matter, Arnab.
No, I think it's
embarrassing. The court is also
embarrassing.
failing, Arnab. That's the sad part of it.
I'll tell you one thing,
courts are also failing.
Kumar, we'll call you after this. You give us the video. Next caller. Let's listen. Sanju, I know you want to come in. This is interesting. So many people calling in. Vishwa is calling from Banswara in Rajasthan. Vishwa.
Hello.
Yeah, Vishwa.
Hello. Arnab sir, first of all, I thank you for conducting debate on this topic. I see other channels are ignoring this issue like nothing has happened.
Yeah.
I want to say to all the leaders of Karnataka that whatever mistake it is by political leaders or administration, it is not acceptable. But my blood boils when I see this leaders are quarreling and politicizing this issue. If the death of a 22-year-old doesn't matter to them.
You know, Vishwa, Vishwa, I'll tell you one thing. Frankly, one citizen to another. I feel very strongly about these issues, but the problem with the media also is, Neelam, that the media moves from political issues, political controversies, global issues, and then sometimes we forget what's happening just around us. I think this is another wake-up call. You know, it really hits back home. It hits home. It hits home. Thank you, Vishwa, for your call. Rakesh Yadav from Chennai. Rakesh.
Hey, good evening, everybody, whoever is there in the call. And this is a wonderful topic which you have picked up, Arnab. I really appreciate you for that. And all I want to say is the government of Karnataka is wholly responsible, and it is a joint and vicarious liability on the government of Karnataka and the private companies who led to this event, unfortunate event which has happened, which caused the death of a person who had no idea about what was happening and why it happened to him. It is very unfortunate, and the government should take the responsibility and
They won't. They'll drag the citizen for the longest time through the court. You know, the Shailesh can tell you more. Shailesh Gandhi, the governments have nothing to lose. They can litigate for years. How many people can fight like Neelam Krishnamurthy has? Shailesh.
Very rare, and may I make a suggestion, Arnab, since you are so passionate about it?
Yeah.
Once a week, decide to do half an hour on these kind of incidents across the country.
I will.
And pursue the investigation.
I will.
And what happens to them? Unless people are made to pay for their problems, for their faults, nothing will change. Neelam has felt that pain, and I can feel that pain. There will be thousands of people across the country. Neelam is not alone. Neelam at least gets to talk to us about it. Thousands of people, and as she said, after 30 years, the courts will say the person is too old. The person responsible is too old. Let him off. Let him go. This is the way we run this nation. The judiciary must be held to account.
And I feel really angry and upset today. You know, I'm really still furious about what Manish Bariyar of the JDU said about hyperbole. You know, it's just. My blood boils when I hear that kind of language.
That's mocking. That's mocking
the citizen. That's really mocking the citizen.
Hyperbole. It is important.
May I please come in?
Yes.
Life itself is a hyperbole.
I have to
talking about
just 1 minute. We got a minute. We got a minute more. 1 minute. Sanju, before you come in, Krishna from Bengaluru.
I've been waiting.
1 minute. Krishna, I'm just letting a lot of callers come in, and then I come to you. Krishna from Bengaluru. Yes, please. Krishna.
Good evening, Arnab, and thank you for getting me on the channel.
Thank you.
This is the height of apathy. This is absolutely the height of apathy by a government. I think it is just not the government. The officials who are responsible for this, the chairman of the BESCOM or the chief executive engineer, I think the buck has to stop on their table. And they have to be absolutely pulled up, and they have to be put behind the bars. Let them stay in the jail for 48 hours or 72 hours. Then this will stop. And the political leaders who are the guts to come and defend this, and they were asking 600 deaths happen, where were you? I mean, this is hyperbole. That they are talking about is a hyperbole. We can do anything, we will get away. Who are you to question me? That's the attitude. I think this mechanism has to be broken.
I want Sanju to respond
we have to fight. And most important, Arnab, What has happened to the investigations ordered for all the previous years? Another investigation ordered, some more, people will make money out of it. Another office will be set up for conducting the investigation. One report will be printed. It goes to the dustbin. What happened to the 600 investigations? Who has been punished? How many people went home? How many people have been dismissed from service?
What I think I'll do is, I'm going to pick up a few of the case studies and see what happened to the case, because unless the media backs, citizens can't.
Most important is publish the names of the people who have been
I will go all out. I will go all out on it. Sanju.
Yes. Arnab, I want to categorically say that it's a great discussion that you've had, and hopefully it will bring solution. I started my debate by saying that I agree with panelists who demand accountability more than judicial, political one at that. I agree with Suhail when he says we need to show empathy, as in Sahanbhuti. I also agree there should be checks and balances and deterrence in place. I simply want to say this: let us not throw the baby out with the bathwater, because you raised a very pertinent point about optical fiber cables. So I will in 30 seconds just tell you, optical fiber is nothing but a thin strand of glass which transmits terabytes, megabytes and gigabytes of data at the speed of light. If we are to do away, may I please finish, Arnab? I waited this long. If we do away with optical fiber cables, we will be doing away with laser surgery. We will be.
I think you are deliberately trying to take it a different direction. Who's saying do away with it? Have it underground and not over my head, not in a way that threatens me. Ladies and gentlemen, we are pursuing this with solid investigations on the ground. I thank you for your calls. To those I couldn't speak to, I apologize, and I see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Good night and goodbye.
Amity faculty have filed over 1,600 patents. Yet another reason why Amity has been conferred with the National Intellectual Property Award by Government of India for being the top Indian academic institute.